네, 안녕하세요. 솔입니다. 목이 막혀. 감기가 걸렸나? 네, 금요일 주말 저녁 잘 보내고 계신가요? 저도 오늘, 아버지 선발 드리고, 방금 저녁 먹고, 이제 시간이 남아서 방송을 켰습니다. 오늘은 제가 미스테리 추리 게임 하고 싶다 했잖아요. 전부터. 그래서, 어쌔신 크리드 유니티 들어가기 전에 가볍게 하려고 셜록 홈즈 옛날 시리즈 죄와벌 가지고 왔습니다. 이거 제가 알기로는 그렇게 옴니버스식으로 되어 있고 각 옴니버스가 그렇게 안 긴 걸로 알고 있거든요. 그래서 이걸 간단하게 하고 그 다음에 어쌔신 크리드로 넘어가면 될 것 같아요. 그럼 같이 한번 해봅시다. 뭐야? 깜짝이야. 왜 우크라이나인들을 기다리면서 나오지? 셜록 홈즈 출연 왓슨 레스트레이드 경감 허드슨 부인 홈즈 형님이죠. 마이크로프트 홈즈. 저 친구는 누군지 모르겠네. 왁인이 걔는 조수다. 블랙 피터의 운명. 팟포 제품. 총소리. 얘가 공주구나. 뭐야 이거? 아니. 대신에 안녕하세요. 오랜만에 추리 게임 하고 싶어서 셜록 홈즈 옛날 거 맞습니다. 그냥 설치해서 하고 있습니다. 총 맞겠다요.
Stop, Holmes.
오예.
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
문 가리고.
Blindfolded.
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
힘참 밝거든. 짜랑한 연수가. 경찰. 9번째 계단을 밟잖아. 레스트레이드 경감. 이거 얘는
Lestrade. What is it this time?
홈즈 영국 영화에서도 이렇게 나오죠. 피터 캐리.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
홈즈 이런 게 멋있어.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had.
거의 마법에 가까운
A
추리.
grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
하지마.
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead.
산지계 별장을 사서
Has
거주했는데
the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
수상한
Give
사건.
me half an hour to prepare.
소리가 좀 작죠? 저는 괜찮은데 여러분들한테 들린 소리가 좀
I
작을
have
것
to
같은데.
go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
마야.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments
나 혼자 가네.
this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
세부 사건 수첩을 펼쳐서 업무 및 증거 등의 진상을 확인하세요. 피터캐 디사인 사건을 조사하십시오. 산지기의 별장에서 살인 현장을 조사하십시오. 옷장에서 정장을 꺼내 입고 산지기의 별장에서 레스트레이드 경감과 만나십시오. 블랙피터 운명. 배관과를 방문한 레스트레이드 경감은 홈즈에게 블랙피터라고 불리는 전직 선장이 끔찍하게 쓴 사건을 자문해달라고 부탁했다. 자, 잠깐만 제가 음성을 좀 높일게요. 아니, 게임 소리를 좀 높일게요. 동선 정식상.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
조작이 약간 좀 별론데.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
A map of London and the surrounding area.
산지기의 별장 가야 되는데 일단
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
ESC는 이거고 이게 탭이구나. 지도 증거 피터 캐리는 블랙피터라는 별명을 가지고 있다. 블랙이라는 거에 들어가는 걸로 봐서는 왠지 뭔가 좀 부당한 방법으로 돈을 벌지 않을까? 미트링 안녕하세요. 저는 또 정직이란다. 정확하게 본인만 돈 넣지 않습니까? 현재 54. 산책의 별장에서 머물렀는데 이 사람 죽었고요. 대화. 기념품. 메아리는 뭐야? 인물 묘사.
My archive. I can all. My archive. I can all. This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if.
제 방법. 난 옷을 갈아입으라 했죠. 장대 사용하기. 여러분, 잠깐만 지금, 부모님 불러서 잠깐만 좀 자리 좀 비우겠습니다. 죄송해요. 아, 네, 다녀왔습니다. 아, 여러분 죄송합니다. 자, 셜록 홈즈가 여기서 옷장에서 정장 입으라고 했던 것 같은데. 선원 복장, 형상복, 정장. 정장이 10개가 있네. 밝은색 정장, 회색 정장. 아, 좀 돌려서 올렸니? 녹색 정장, 갈색, 검은색. 보자. 회색 입고 갈까? 변장대로 이동하는 거야. 아, 변장대. 아니요, 공약 못 봤습니다. 공약 보고 올걸. 안경. 이렇게 해서, 어? 아, 그래? 됐어. 근데 제가 알기로는 이거 게임이 쉬워서 공략 필요 없는 걸로 알고 있습니다. 이렇게 하고, 여기 가야 되지. 사건 수첩 펼치기. 이건, 야, 이거 대화가 다 나오네?
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
얘는 뭐고? T? 오스키 주변에 딱 발자국.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
커다란 발자국이군.
These footprints.
아, 이렇게 증거가 추가되는군요. 신원 불명의 발자국. 얘들하고 대화도 되지 않나? 대화는 되나?
Mr. Holmes?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
신문하기? 정원은 초록색이 조사가 됐다는 거겠죠.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
이건 뭐야? 아, 이거 관찰할 게 있구나. 원형 장갑. 3장. 아, 뭐지? 딱히 모르는데. 그죠. 꿀박새 인물 묘사 완료. 이건 뭐야?
Thank you, madam.
어? 말을 해야지.
Thank you, madam.
주디스 캐리는 뿔박새가 서식하는 스코틀랜드인 베네사스트 지의 소나무숲에서 출생했다. 야, 이거 인물 묘사 다 하는 거구나. 어린 시절 성 제임스 순례길을 거쳐서 산티아고 콤페스타 대성당 방문 중으로 독신했습니다. 살인사건. (50세) 은퇴했고 여기서 6년간까지 했고 어젯밤 시체. 수상한 사건이다. 근데 레스토레이트 경찰 마약 발견돼서 간단히 놓고 여기 왔네?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream.
새벽 2시에 비명소리.
He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
조사가 심하군요.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually, whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
그래서
Do you
언제
remember
발견했어?
at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning,
아침
at
7시.
around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and...
10시 후에 보니까 그럼 이걸 먼저 해야 되지 않을까?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs.
이걸
Taylor.
이거 먼저 해야
Nevertheless, I
되는데.
believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness.
아,
how
오늘
do you
이런
know
거잖아요.
about that?
뭐야?
Never mind.
어?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Taylor.
큐티구나.
Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden.
Yes,
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
yes, Mr.
프레미스?
Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
성지순례.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
아, 역시 명탐정이야. 방문자가 있었나?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but
Oh,
my
그래?
husband took care of it himself.
Thank you, madam.
이거 저택은 왜 있는 거지? 뛰고 하는 게 시프트 누르니까 뛰어지네요. 아까 조작법을 한번 받긴 봤거든요. 걷기 달리기 전에 캡사기고 T, F 상상력 페이지. 언제 쓴지 모르겠고 E
Mr. Holmes?
만들어가지고요. 정은 아까 조사를 했고
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Mr. Holmes?
설마 무섭진 않겠지.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
오,
Let me see.
저건걸. 경감이 발견을. 출입문 자물쇠. 긁힌 자국.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
어장 썼고.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
그냥 창문 들어가면 돼. 좀 급한 거였으면. 오,
What a terrible way to die. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
선반. 수상한 빈 공간. 먼지 위로 난 윤곽.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Box or small chest. 저건 아니겠지?
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
의미가 없는 아이템은 없네.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
바다 유니콘이 베이듬인가?
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn.
Ship's Note라고 다니는 거 보니까
1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
바다 유니콘이 벤가 봐요.
Harpoons for hunting whales.
하푼도 있고. 뭐?
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
팔무는 뭐니?
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Sea Unicorn. 바다 유니콘.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
어쨌든 뭐 자산
The
아니네.
weapon fully penetrated the
그러니까.
body. The force of the blow was immense.
힘이 장사인데.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
JHN.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
나중에 떨어졌고요. 뭐야
These
이거?
abbreviations mean something,
이름 아니야?
but what? This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife,
아,
but he did not succeed.
하긴 저기는 하푼 들고 덤비는데.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
거의 뭐 발사됐다.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
담배 주머니. 피터 캐리겠죠?
PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
야,
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
깨진 그림 조각도 움직여서 어떤 향기가 나왔는지 밝혀내십시오. 이거 뭐 어떻게 움직여? 응? 좌우로는 안 되고 아래 위로만 되는데? 뭐야 이거? 움직이는 게 근데 이거를 하려면은 이게 어느 각도에서 보면 딱 맞춰지는 그런 거지 싶은데 이게 되려면 몇 개가 더 움직여야 되는 거 아니야? 요런 느낌인데요. 요런 느낌이잖아. 이렇게.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
유리병,
A sailor's
럼주.
drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
마지막 술잔이군요. 그러면은 이건 뭐야? 용도 찾아보기, 신문하기, 피터 캐리, PC 피터 캐리겠죠? 이건 내가 찾아봐야 되는 거. 아, 이게 내용이 추가되네. 1880년대에서 몇년간 여행을 다녔으며 현직에서 6년을 지냈다. B. 연관된 단서를 발견하면 추리에 완성할 수 있습니다. 단서를 연관시킬 수 없는 경우에는 붉은색으로 표시됩니다. 침입자가 있었다. 정원사는 없다. 벽에 꽂혀 있었다. 이거랑 이거 하면 침입자가 있었다. 투첩. 침입자가 현장으로 돌아올 것에 대비하여 매복 작전을 준비하기로 했다. 뭐야 이거?
Ha. Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
매복 장소를 찾아. 매복하십시오. 여기서? 지금? 당장? 매복을 하라고?
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
We are lucky.
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall
매복해야 해.
remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Long night. 그래.
We need to find a good place for an ambush.
오두막 뒤편의
Perhaps
창문
behind
근처.
Carey's cabin.
Mr. Holmes?
오두막 뒤편이 여긴 것 같은데. 잠시만, 그 전에 이게 아주머니 이게 의외로 갈 수 있는 데가 많이 없네요. 길로만 다니네.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be.
Oh.
But he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
저 누구야?
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
근데 그게 나와 있었다.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
어? 갑자기? 밤이다.
Shh. Did you hear that?
누구지?
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
저런 몸 쓰는 건 저 친구 돼야겠죠? 잡았니?
Mr. Holmes, come and see what we've caught in our net.
Mr. Holmes?
잡았네. 젊은 친구가
All right, my
됐었는데.
fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I
당연히,
assure you I'm innocent.
당연히 생각하죠.
Innocent? Then what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
얘서 한 건 해결된가?
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
아까 이름이 존 넬리건, 존 호플린 넬리건. 아까 증거품 중에 존 호플린 넬리건. 아, 이게 아마 분명히 다 이름 약자인데. 이 수첩은 얘 건데.
Mr. Holmes?
얘도 많이 똑같아.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning,
Mr.
Constable.
Holmes.
I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Mr. Holmes?
여기 못 가네요. 아,
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
이건 얘 거 같아.
These abbreviations mean something. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
해석이 좀 이상한데. 피터크의 오두막에서 뭐 사용됐다고 하는 건가? 유용했다는 건가?
From R. Dawson.
R. 돈슨이 내 친구와 파트너예요. (1884년)
To my friend
아, 이거 다
and partner, 1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
서재. 그냥 챙기네요.
A handkerchief with the initials JHN. Locked.
아, 여긴가? 신문. 여기 신문실이 아닌가 보네. 아, 여긴가? 마치는 것 같다.
Mr. Holmes?
아, 아닌가? 아, 얘구나. 이게 사람 파악하는 그거죠. 해진 보자. 누더기. 야윈 목등. 짧은 소매. 고등살. 흉터. 어디 없는데. 정교한 단추. 값비싼 소재.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
아니거든.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
얘는 아닌 것 같다.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
제가 가지고 있던 책입니다. 가기.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
이 거라고? 뭐야? 뭐 하는데? 틀렸나봐요. 할돈슨이 친구이자 동료에게. 그럼 이건 알돈슨을 보고 가야 되나? 틀렸다. 대답을 선택하십시오.
So, Mr. Nelligan,
아, 진짜.
who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Never mind. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please
알돈슨을
let me
보고
go.
오자.
I'm innocent.
집에 갔다 와야 되네. 비가 있는데. 지금 모르겠어요. 지금 모르겠고. 내가 알기로는 여기서 이거 찍으면 가는 걸로 알고 있는데. 일단 알돈슨 찾자. 집에 가서 알돈슨 찾고. 뭐야 이거? 아니야. 알도슨 신문일 같은데?
That is not the one I need.
이거다. 친구이자 동료에게 도슨이 내리건 투자시 딱 파산하다. 내리건 실종. 코너점에 그만뒀던 도슨이 내리건 이게 두 분이 사업 파트너네. 23번째로 큰 은행, 두 번째로 큰 금액 파산절차. 주주하는 이런 희망불명. 항해를 목격하던 모습이 마지막으로 되었고 도배하고 있다.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
오케이. 이렇게해서 문서가 추가되었고요. 19세 10년 전에 부친 실종되고 물고기 선지로 돈 벌고 있고 신체 조건이 좋지만 않다. 그러니까 하푼을 던졌는데 얘는 하푼을 던져서 사람을 그렇게 꼬챙이질 못할 것 같아. 저는 더 의미가 없습니다. 시험을 진행하다 숙련되지 않은 초보자가 작살로 산을 못 깨질 수 있는 시험을 보게 됐다. 이게 만약에 된다면은 그 아까 잡은 그 어린 첨단이 사람을 죽일 수 있다는 뜻이겠죠. 왓슨 박사가
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some
Ripper?
more pigs'
옛날 건가 보다.
throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
강아지네요. 뭐야 이거?
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
부족감.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
아하. 그럼 여기 가서 지금 뭐 할 수 있는 게 없겠지. 아직 모르겠네요. 내가 뭔가 추리할 단서가 생기면 저게 딱 생기네.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
That should do it. Now I am ready.
자, 이제 여기 가서
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most
저
reliable test.
요즘 몬스터헌터 라보 하고 있으니까 해야 되겠지. 아, 이거 놔야 되는구나.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can. The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through.
젠장.
Holmes, you should try to...
아, 이게 또 액션이. 오. 제가 두 번에 성공을 하네요.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
돼지고기 해먹으면 되겠네.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
맛있겠다. 완력이 있었다. 강한 완력. 요행. 작사의 사회와 가슴하고 두고 벽이 꽂히는 병은 사람보다 강한 완력과 숙련은 솔직히 득실하다. 협력해서 스경우 동력이 나타날 수 있다. 승리에 대한 투가 다스는데 피해자의 가슴을 기술하면서 미세한 걸 준다. 내 생각에는 강한 완력일 것 같은데. 요행. 완력. 완력이 뭐 나머지는 없을 것 같네요. 경찰국 다시 가자. 이제 신문 제도 할 수 있겠죠? 여기. 헬로.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
여기서 이제 우리 단서가 있으니까. 그러면은 일단 아버지 얘기를 먼저 하자.
So, Mr. Nelligan,
The ring is mine.
never mind. I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time.
그 당시에
He was still
10살이었구나.
old enough to feel the shame that befell
진짜
the
만진 얘가
family.
아니네.
My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
아버지 거지요?
The ring is mine.
아이고 거짓말을. 아버지하고 관계된 게 이거밖에 없네.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man,
옷이
Mr.
좋은
Nelligan.
거구나.
Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
기특해요. 존슨 내리건이 어떻게 만났지? 그걸 이제 알아봐야 되네요. 홈즈는 만났다고 생각하고 증거를 찾고 있고, 우리는 왜 만났는 그것도 잘 모르고 있는 거고.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
나 다 알아. 항해일지, 항해일지. 잠시만, 여기서 바로 못 가나? 바로 갈 수 있네. 보자. 그러면은 항해일지가 아까 여기 있었거든요.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
고대 포경선인가?
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
고대 2마리. 요크.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
튀겨져 있고요.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
함께 했던 사람이다. 근데 아까 전에 그래, 선원들 명단 위긴스가 나오네. 그 친구죠. 거짓 꼬마. 근데 위긴스는 어디 찾지? 집에 가면 있나? 추시할 수 있는 게 있으려나? 이건 그러면 뱃사감이 있으니까 강화 완료는 맞겠다. 이건 뭐 할 수 있는 게 없을 것 같고.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Specialist.
Who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these
쟤네들 계속 나오죠.
than from a
위긴스.
dozen yard detectives.
근데 영화나 이런 데서 안 나와.
Everywhere, they see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
아, 그래? 창문 안에면
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just gotta look where the rum and the red lights are.
얘도 홍등가도 갈 수 있어?
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
아니?
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
갑자기 날 왜 부른 거야? 바빠 죽겠구만. 아, 이동할 때 계속 이게 나오는 게 요게 조금 별로네요. 꼭 로딩이 이렇게 있어야 되나? 뭐 가는 동안에 생각하다 이건가?
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
아하.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect.
리암 허들리.
I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes, he refuses to speak with us, but we'll make it.
Let us hope so.
나도 그랬으면 좋겠다.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest,
편지다.
the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
신문지에 있겠지? 일단 여기에 그게 있을 거고.
These are the suspect's belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
구문 반. 구문 반은 아니야. 이게 8문이어야 돼. 이건 8문이잖아. 아, 아니다. 저 크기 얼마인지 조사하니 않니?
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
그러면은 신문하기 전에 분석 시작하기가 있고 용도 찾아보기. 할머 여기 가자. 초디스토 펼쳐도 지금 할 수 있는 게 없겠죠? 없네. 여기에 캐리.
These boots don't match the footprints.
저건 피터 캐리 아니고 왠지 이건 것 같아.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
얘가 왔네. 비 온 날 밤 얘가 왔네. 아, 비 온 날이 아니구나. 그냥 발자국 남아있던 거구나. 체코몽치. 메아리는 뭐야? 허들리를 신문하는 것도 좋은데 그 전에 할 수 있는 거. 얘가 그러면 침입자에 해당할까? 아니네. 허들리의 발자국이 아니고요. 얘가 정원사. 니가 산지기 별장에 가면 마지막 점에 그는 현장에 있었다. 주스키는 그가 정원사임을 부정하고 있다. 기묘한 행적. 저기 아주머니한테 다시 한번 물어볼까? 아주머니, 왜 사실을 얘기 안 했어? 근데 원래 이렇게 1인칭이었나요?
Who could do
원래 있나? 분석 시작하기. 이거 왠지 집에 아까 화학 그거 봤거든요. 거기 아마 분석을 할 수 있을 것 같아. 옛날에 나온 그 셜록 홈즈도 이렇게 집에서 막 분석하고 시험하고 했었거든요. 아까도 뭐 창 던지고 그랬었지만.
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk.
아니야,
This
새로운
case is more interesting than I first imagined.
친구하고 얘기 안 해봐서 합니다. 여기.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
다시 얘기해봐.
First condition,
전부 활용하고.
second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence.
주황색은 청색
after
넣은
the
다음
blue
세 번째.
reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. First, second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence.
청색 들어가고
after the
주황색이
blue
뒤에 오고.
reagent. Third condition,
주황색 다음에
colorless
넣고.
reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
여기 주황색이 2개인데?
First condition, second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence. Third con
그러면은 청색 두 번째도 청색. 아, 잠시만. 야, 다 초기야. 청색 1개 넣고. 그 다음에, 청색 넣고, 청색, 녹색, 주황색, 무색, 주황색, 무색 이렇게 넣으면 되지 않니? 아, 틀렸어? 청색 넣고, 주황색 다음에 무색인데, 그럼 청색, 청색, 녹색, 근데 청색, 청색 넣으면 두 번째 청색 때문에 이거, 그 다음에 노란색 넣는 게 안 되는 거 같네요.
First condition, second condition. Orange reagent.
청색을
should be
넣고 난
the
다음에
third
세
one.
번째로 넣고,
Third condition.
무색은 주황색
Colorless
다음.
reagent. First, second condition. Third condition.
주황색은 청색 넣고 다음에 넣을 수 있으니까 주황색이 1번에 들어가면 안 되고, 그러면 청색은 일단 먼저 들어가야 되고, 청색 들어가고, 녹색 들어가야 되나? 무색은 노란색 다음에 들어갈 수 있다 했으니까.
First, second condition.
주황색은 청색을 넣은 후 세
Should be the
번째로.
third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
그럼 주황색, 무색은 무조건 주황색, 무색은 무조건 순서가 결정이 되네요. 청색, 녹색 다음에 주황색을 넣으면 안 되잖아요. 청색, 청색. 규칙에서 자유로운 게 지금 녹색 하나인데, 무색도 노란색 다음에 넣어야 되고, 노란색도 청색 넣고 다음에 넣어야 되고. 그럼 일단 1바타는 청색이 맞는 것 같고요. 청색이 맞고, 제가 아까 했던 게 청색이었죠. 근데 이렇게 하면 두 번째 청색이 들어갔기 때문에 얘 놓고 얘를 넣으면 터진단 말이죠. 어? 아까 이렇게 안 했나?
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
아니면 잠깐만. 무색은 바로 뒤에 넣어야 돼.
Second, third condition. Colorless reagent should be added up.
아까 보니까 청색 두 번째 청색 그냥 무색은 그냥 뒤에만 있으면 되나? 그럼 노랑 무무 이렇게 넣어도 되잖아. 노란색 그냥 안 터진단 말이죠. 바로 뒤에 넣어야 되네. 왜? 청색. 그 다음에 청청. 녹색. 노란색. 이 다음에 무색을 집어넣으면 두 번째 청색 때문에 이게 안 돼. 그러면은 청, 녹, 청 이렇게 가면 되겠다. 그렇게 가면 되겠네. 오케이. 청색. 녹색. 그 다음에 청색. 저는 이게 두 번째 청색 때문에 이 다음에 바로 넣는 노란색이 두 번째 청색 때문에 영향을 받는 줄 알았는데 그런 거 아니네요. 노란색. 무색. 노란색. 무색. 퍼즐 요소가 약간 있네. 이건 좋네.
Done. Now I can proceed further. Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery.
아, 클릭. 당신 말대로 잘생겨졌어. 하지만 다시 생각해봤으면 좋겠어. 우리끼리 맹세했잖아. 당신이 위해서라면 무슨 짓인지 할 수 있어. 이렇게 빌게.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would hurt?
아, 이게 히들리하고 신문을 하고 난 다음에 막혔을 때 와야 되는 겁니다. 제가 바로 왔죠? 자, 이제 드디어 이제 히들리 만나러 갑니다. 원래 히들리는 먼저 만났어야 했는데. 일단 아까 만난 그 꼬마 19살짜리 아버지한테 빚 물려받은 애는 범인이 아니야. 두 번째가 이제 히들리인데 여기 있나? 없네? 아, 얘구나. 얘도 몸집이 보니까 하프는 던질 수 있는 몸집이 아닌데?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
인텔리게이션.
Allow me to
아, 이거
introduce
들으니까 또
myself.
스프린터 셀하고
My
싶네.
name is Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes.
Holmes.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
일단 인물 봅시다. 뭐 없나? 정원사의 손. 정원사네 얘가. 얘가 정원사. 풀립 조각. 또. 꿀박새. 꿀박새. 단가? 오래된 용터.
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
흔들리고 있다.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, Would you care to explain it?
I don't remember.
뭐야,
What
이걸로
would I
그냥
be
된
doing there
거야?
anyway?
정사다.
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
가든.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on
그거
your handkerchief.
그
A
여자
twisted tit, if I'm not
마담이 갖고
mistaken.
있던
All
청소년하고
right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
전부 다 이걸 해야 되네. 편지.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
비협조적입니다. 얘는 누구야, 그러면? 전직 군인. 이건 어떻게 알아? 일단 별장 갑시다. 뭔가 추리할 수 있는 게 있으려나? 좋아, 다행이야. 무작위로 찍었네. 없군. 원의 용구함이면은 여기 아까 뿔박스 모양이 있었어요. 그거 아니야? 혹시 불륜 아니겠지?
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
젠장 거짓말.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
아까 그
Thank
뿔박스야.
you, madam.
이 책에 이 뿔박스가 같은데 지금.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
어디 있다고? 이거 이거 지나가는 대사. 한잣집. 여기 말고 이건가? 이 집인가? 이 집인가 보다. 괜히 딴 데 갔네.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
T. 이건 뭐야? R을 눌렀는데. 아무것도 없잖아. 와우. 역시 홈즈. 진짜 뭔가 숨겨져 있네요. 빠다방.
Let us see what is in this box.
아. 이렇게 그림 맞추는 거네.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram.
여성이 썼다.
Hartley and Mrs. Carey were in
아,
a
이거
relationship.
좋았어.
That is interesting.
예상한 미양. 이제 부인을 신문할 때가 왔어요.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hartley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
불륜관계 하는 게 낭만적인 편지.
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hartley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
저 십자가.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
저 손목에 있는 저기 십자가 상당히 먼 눈에 걸리는데.
If Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
조사가 막혔구나. 악이 없는 외도. 기묘한 행적. 이틀을 허들리의 결배. 산직의 회전 차원이온 내용관계 때문에 거시적인 변화 정상이 있다. 치정살인. 치정살인으로 하면 내용관계 때문에 살해했다. 내용관계 때문에 살해했다고 하면 근데 내용관계 때문에 살해했을 것 같진 않은데. 초에서 놀리, 그렇구나. 그냥 이렇게 하자. 이게 맞을 것 같다. 그 다음에 여기는 할 게 없죠. 일단 그 바다 유니콘 선원들 찾는 게 또 돼야 되니까 가봅시다. 예컨가에 이제 위킨스가 가져왔으면 좋겠네. 이거 가면서 할걸.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
오.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
자, 한번 볼까? 휴 패티선은 좋다, 작살잡이. 그럼 얘밖에 없잖아.
This man is a harpooner, and his
PC.
initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch.
아, 피터 캐리가 아니구나.
Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick.
왠지 저 사람이 죽였을 것 같다.
We found Patrick Ken's.
오, 빠르네.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
장난 아닌데?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
완료했고요. 이거랑 이게 맞겠다. 진술을 받아야.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
좋아, 선처럼 변장은 저 어디 가서? 아, 내 방이 아니구나.
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
그건 그렇지. 선언. 어. 뱃싸움이니까 운은 좋겠지.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
이게 낫다. 좋아요. 바다만 있을지. 훨씬 선은 같네요. 여기서 80 한다고 했죠? 설마 나 80에서 이겨야 되나? 그런 건 별론데. 이런가 보다.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
진짜 본통이야? 표정을 보고 밀어내기 버티 휴식을 파악한다면 전력을 세우십시오. 아, 이거 클릭해야 되는구나. 뭐 어떻게 하는 거야? 저지하기 아닌가? 저지하기. 뭐 어떻게 해야 되는 거야? 어떻게 하는지 잘 모르겠는데.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
저 주고 난 다음에 정보를 얻는 게 낫지 않을까? 금제 귀걸이. 국세 소나기. 선언 문신. 다음은 누런 손톱. 국세 소나기 있고요. 나이가 빠진 목적. 계속하자.
I'm ready to try
야,
again.
이거 이겨야 되는 거 아니야?
Fine.
이렇게 하는 게 맞나? 이렇게 하는 게 맞는 건지 모르겠네. 어이. 우와, 왼쪽 클릭. 못 이겠다. 이야, 이렇게 해서 끝이 안 나겠는데요? 이야, 마우스 클릭이 빠르면 뭐가 달라지나? 아닌데? 누르고 있어야 되나? 누르고 있는 것 같지도 않고. 아닌데? 어떻게 하는 거야? 이것도 아닌 것 같고. 진짜 모르겠다.
I'm ready to...
모르겠네. 이렇게 누른 게 맞는 건지 모르겠어요. 야, 아닌 것 같아. 야, 건너뛰어, 건너뛰어.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
아, 그만하면 넘어가는
Come back
거구나.
later when you can use your arms again.
대화하네?
I'm ready to...
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything.
망할 블랙
Old
피터.
Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great
위대한
Roger.
로저.
We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
위대한 로저면 원피스.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too, swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
나 솔직히 누군지 몰라.
Tell me, And let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that
Hello.
it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of
딱
the
파의
sea,
이야기가 나오네.
and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We
아,
took the man on board.
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye, even stranger was that on the second night,
수제나 밤에
he
실종됐다고?
disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
죽인 거 아니야?
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
그냥 가면 되지 않나? 얘가 죽인 것 같은데. 아, 몇 주문에 넣으라고? 그냥 씻게 되는 거야, 이게? 씻게 되네요. 담배 하나 주고 하고 반응을
You
보면
got any
되겠지.
tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
그래?
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
시업자는 딱히 굳이게
It's time to leave.
신경을 안 써봤네.
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
주머니의 주인을 밝히는 거 완료했잖아. 일단 얘가 근데 하프를 던졌으니까 열점은 존재하죠. 이거하고 이거가 아니어지나? 파악할 수 없다고 이어지니? 그럼 요렇게 하고 어디 가야 되지? 만날 사람들은 다 만난 것 같아요.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
경찰서 가야 되나 보다. 아니야. 파널에 지금 아직 안 돼 있는 게 이거잖아. 파널. 채권, 롱루트잖아.
My archive. I can always
아,
consult
지금은
with it
지금
if
때가 아니구나.
needed.
그러면은 경찰서 가서 아들 다시 불러보자. 카드네?
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Mr. Holmes?
도둑일 리가 없다. 그래, 나도 도둑일 리가 없다고 생각해. 채권 뭉치. 그러면은 다시 열장을 다시 가보자. 아직 돌고 계시나? 돌고
Leave me
계시네.
alone, please.
여기는 할 수 있는 게 없고. 그러면은 여기서 이제 뭔가 해야 되나 보다. 이거 두 개는 아닌데. 두 개는 아니고. 치정 관계라고 하고. 이렇게 되면 허들리가 범인이다. 아니야. 얘들은 그냥 내연 관계가 다고. 양철통하고 아직 안 되는 거 보니까 이게 뭔가 더 있어요. 발견을 더 해야 됩니다. 범인은 저 마지막에 만난 저 팔씨름 공채 같은데. 허들리하고 좋은 걔는 아니고. 그 허들리 말고 왜 아까 걔는 왜 안 나오냐?
This is where I keep my post.
뭘 해야 될까?
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
아니야.
A map of London and the surrounding area.
아직 한 개가 안 끝났어. 여기 곤황해야지. 다시 보자. 확률 못 보네요. 다 파악했다는 건데, 여기는 저거 말고 할 게 없나? 저거 말고 할 게 없네. 이 아주머니한테도 할 수 있는 게 없고. 뭔가 더 필요한데. 경찰서에서 발견 못한 게 있나 보다. 이거 이동 시간이. 조사만 하면 되는 게임인데, 조사만 하면 되는 게임에서 제가 또 이동만 하고 있네요. 좀 더 꼼꼼하게 대화를 해볼까?
Mr. Holmes?
얘들아, 정보를 내놔봐.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
정보 줄 사람.
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings.
여기서
I wonder
이거
if
다시.
these are connected.
여기서 이게 분명히 그 선원들 이름일 거란 말이죠. 캐피탈, 캐네디안, 패시픽, 레일웨이. 저는 레일웨이 타이쿤? 그런 거 있었는데. 이게 이름이라 치면
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's
그래,
papers
이거잖아.
were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
그거 말고 솔직히 나 이거 다시 보고 싶어. 다 왔네?
These are the. These are brief.
맞이네요. 사라진 채권과 사라진 양철도. 도둑맞은 채권. 케인즈. 렐리건의 범인동기. 만약에 이게 되려면은 여기서 여행으로 가야 되고, 담배 증으로 입증이 되지 않는다. 이렇게 하면 넬리건이 범인이다. 넬리건이 범인 같진 않아요. 완력이 있고 넬리건하고 대화를 다시 해봐야 되나? 이건 뭐야? 채권을 써놨다. 좋은 일이 육체적 진실로 살인범이 생각할 수 없다. 이렇게 되면 개인제가 범인이다. 약간 담배 주머니도 있고 작살잡이도 그렇고 얘인 것 같은데. 인사불성의 조정뱅이 와서 수를 보였다. 과연 인사불성이 조정뱅이였나? 결론을 내리십시오. 아, 다 했구나 이제. 다 했네요. 그럼 이제 총 6가지가 있죠. 셋 중에 하나 찍어야 되는데, 일단 범인은 걔가 맞긴 맞아요. 걔가 맞는데, 여기 지금 보니까 교탄한다가 있고 선절벽한다가 있는데, 인사불성이 조정뱅이 와서 수을 보였을 뿐이다. 대화에 보면 신문 하나가 있네.
Please escort this suspect.
한 번 더 얘기를 할 수 있군요.
Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside?
너 끝까지 거짓말하면 내가 가만둬.
I was trying to find some information about my father.
오케이.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I?
제발 맞다고 해줘.
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
그렇구나.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
자, 이렇게 해서 증거도 이제 다 활용을 했어요. 일단 대화에서 술에 취하면 인사불성이 되었다. 술에 취해 있었고, 술에 취해 있었구나. 케인즈가 범인은 맞아요. 이걸 해야 될까 이걸 해야 될까 둘 중에 하나인데, 선제도 몇 번 더 할까? 케인즈는 친분이
Good
없네.
afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with a ship's captain, a Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So, you wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't ya?
Yes,
How?
the tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
The sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return
어?
the money.
진짜?
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
It's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug,
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is it?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventrao. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey.
아,
And he was a harpooner.
그렇게.
I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible! But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me. This is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
1000 times thank you. 발견한 단서 16. 결론. 티언즈가 봅니다. 다른 결말 선택하기. 아, 이게 되돌릴 수 있구나. 정답 한번 볼까, 일단? 범인 맞네. 근데 결말을 다르게 할 수 있네요.
What am I...
결론 변경하기. 티언즈가 봅니다. 저는 이거 아까 했고, 만약에 보면은 퍼트리가 봅니다. 이렇게 하면 되네. 선택된다.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier.
그러니까 경찰은 아예 그
He was in
작살자비의
love
존재
with
자체를
Judith
모르네요.
Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, it was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof.
Calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
어떻게든 이렇게 이어지네요. 결론. 아, 얘 틀렸다고 이렇게 나오네. 야, 오늘 제가 처음에 찍은 게 맞긴 맞았네요. 여기서 리건이 보입니다.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
Revenge, Inspector. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
Well then, I'll arrest this Nelligan. I don't fancy his chances of getting out of prison after this.
I will accompany you, Inspector. John Nelligan, it was you who killed Black Peter. You attempted to convince him to return the bond certificates, and you threatened to call the police. Peter Carey was drunk. He drew his knife. In panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw in self-defense. Put that in your report, Lestrade.
No, I didn't kill anyone. You have it all wrong.
You better thank Mr. Holmes for saving your neck, Nelligan.
틀린 건 비슷비슷하게 가네.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
그러면은 다른 결말을 제시해야 돼. 만약에 좀 센 법적 처벌을 하면 어떻게 되지? 그게 궁금하네요. 개헌제인데 부탁한다. 아, 이 로딩 이게 조금 걸리네요. 다음 날.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
못 싸워야 되는 거야?
And I say that we will.
나하고 싸우는 거야? 뭐 어떻게 해야 돼? 싸움 잘한다. 헛! 오, W. 경감 싸움 왜 이렇게 못해? 도전과제 달성, 불량배.
Are you all right? Are you able to stand?
Oh, my jaw. Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Ah. But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
이건 제시할까? 동일한 방법으로 사건을 해결하는 동일한 도덕 조건. 인성 수치. 게이지먼. 부도한 건가? 철로위의 사스케키. 자, 이런 식으로 한 에피소드가 끝이 났습니다. 이렇게 몇 개의 에피소드가 합쳐진 게 이 게임으로 알고 있어요. 오늘은 일단 에피소드 1만 한글로 하고, 이번
This
에피소드부터는
trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your
다음에
friend
하죠.
and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
아이고, 멈추고 어떻게 나가지 못하나? 이렇게 하는 게 낫겠네요. 다음 거는 다음번에 하는 걸로 하죠. 사건. 좋습니다. 그러면 오늘은 여기까지 하는 걸로 하겠습니다. 오랜만에 추임을 하니까 재밌네요. 재밌었습니다. 자, 그럼 여러분, 늦은 시간까지 시청 감사합니다. 지금까지 솔리였습니다.